We are Rogue Media Sports.
5 in a row. 5 in a row. Spurs doing Spursy things. Don't you just love Spurs? And it's good to be back. It's good to be back. This is Minor Football Fans Podcast. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Minor Football Fans Podcast, your go-to one for all things Premier League football. I'm David. He's Spy. Spy, how you doing on this beautiful Monday?
A beautiful Monday indeed. I am very good, David. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm chilling. I'm ready to go. It's obviously, we just came back from an international break. 2 boring, long weeks of my life. But it's good to be back. And guess what, Spy? Guess what? No break in club football till March. That is December, January, February. 3 beautiful months of football.
Beautiful, and beautiful.
I know. But obviously, match week 12 in the Premier League. Let's jump right into it. But as always, before we do that, let's obviously start by saying thank you to all our beautiful fans, all our subscribers, on whatever platform you listen to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us and tuning in every time we release an episode. Thank you for watching. We appreciate all the support. And if you are new to the channel, if this is your first time, hit that subscribe button below, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we drop and release content for you or whatever platform. And don't forget, this is not the only place you can find us. Listen to Minor Football Fans Podcast on all podcast platforms. It's not just YouTube. Check us out, whatever podcast platform you use. We love you guys and we appreciate your support. So thank you so much. So Spy, let's get right into it. Match week 12. So many headlines, but let's start with the big one, shall we? Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Before I go into details, let me just say this about Tottenham. Tottenham are the only team that in the space of 3 weeks can lose to Ipswich and beat Man City twice. And I believe one of it, I can't remember, I don't remember if both are away from home or one was at home, one was away from home. But how do you lose to Ipswich at home and then beat Man City twice in the space of 3 weeks? That's not normal. But only Spurs can do that. What do you have to say about Spurs? Let's start with Spurs. I don't want to go into City yet. Let's start with Spurs.
Spurs, like I said, were they're different. They're different. Like I said, their structure of football was a bit weird, pushing Son out wide. But you could see against City, that was not the case. You saw Son taking a lot of touches in the box. He was involved. He even dropped an assist to Maddison. And Maddison, wow, he just came out. What a birthday for Maddison. What a birthday. Wow. At the Etihad as well. Beautiful.
Etihad. That's what I was saying. Like you even touched that. You literally hit it on the head. Like we don't know Ange to be changing tactics. We know him to be strong. My way is the way, nothing more, nothing less. And then he comes to the Etihad and he changes everything. I'm like,
he maybe he watched our podcast and he listened to me. Maybe because he needed a change.
He
In the past 3 games, he didn't change. He was like, my way. Against he said, you know what, mind of the fans might just be right. Let me listen.
Yeah, and you called it. I want to shout out 3 players precisely. Actually, I want to shout out like 5, but let's start with the first 2. I want to shout out Maddison. Obviously, he's been scrutinized a bit because he does one side of the ball really well, but then when it comes to the other side of the ball in terms of defending, he doesn't put in the effort as much as we like. But then to this particular game, you saw both efforts. Obviously scoring the brace, and then defensively he was tracking back, going back. I don't know if it's the system or what it is, but it was just different to see Maddison play both sides of the football finally. And then Kulusevski. Who? Kulusevski was everywhere. Everywhere.
I think Spurs players, they came into this match with an intention, and they delivered that intention smoothly.
And last but not least, the backline. Obviously Spurs were missing their two starting centre backs, obviously, with Van de Ven and Christian Romero. They were both out, and Davis had to come in and Tradition had to come in, and that's revamped backline, and a backline held City to no goals. And obviously we'll come into City, but they held City to not scoring. The last team to do that was obviously yours faithful, yours truly, Arsenal back at the Etihad. Let me rephrase myself. The last team to hold City at the Etihad to not scoring was yours faithful, Arsenal, back in March, where the game ended 0-0. But that's far from the point. So what do you want to Spurs? What do you think? Do you think if they can keep this up consistently, what's their ceiling? Where can they go to?
Spurs as a team, they have the ability to punish. They've always had the ability to punish. At the top of their game, they have the quality. So if they successfully can keep up this consistency, top four is all theirs. Top four is all theirs. And I also said something. I also said in terms of the Premier League right now, in terms of this season, it's a very shaky season because nothing is set in stone yet, which I like.
Exactly.
Because a team can lose 4 in a row this season. Hear me out. A team can lose 4 in a row this season and still have the chance to win the title. This is the first season ever that is going to be possible. I've done the math, I've done the standings or whatever, and it is possible this season. So Spurs, I'm not saying they can challenge for the Premier League. That's
That might be a
Spurs are allergic
stretch,
to
yeah.
titles, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's allergic to that. But in terms of Champions League football, surely they can.
Yeah. And let's talk about City for a bit. 5 in a row. City have not lost 5 in a row since Pep came into, or probably since, I can't remember. Like that's how bad it is. Like Pep has now lost 3 games on bounce, 3 league games on bounce since his days at, was it Barca or Bayern in 2015? He was 2015 in Bayern in 2015. That is mental. We're talking about 10 years plus of not losing back-to-back games in the league. So my question for you on City is, and yes, City were wasteful, let's be honest. If Haaland took his chances, the game probably would have been different. Haaland had too many chances, but whatever, right? Game might have been her. But looking at this, they still lost the game. So my question to you is this just a blip, or is there a bigger problem in City? I'm not even talking about missing Rodri, whatever. Is this
that's
a
the
blip?
big problem. That is
You
the
can't
problem.
you can't tell me missing Rodri will lead you to lose 5 games in a row.
It is
Games
though,
in a
because
row.
David, a structure has been built. It if you're building a house, yeah. If you're building a house and you have a foundation and they take away that foundation, what happens to your house? It collapses.
Good analogy. I like it. Yes, that's true. Oh, yes. God.
Okay, so we're good.
We're good. Let's go.
Okay, so if that foundation isn't there and the house collapses, that is City right now. The foundation has been set, has been built. This is listen. This is not a case of building a foundation around a right winger. No, that's easily replaceable. Around a striker, that's replaceable. This is around the center. This is literally what you call the foundation of football, your center. And that center has been taken away. So you cannot say without Rodri. You cannot say, is this a problem for City without Rodri? No, because the problem is Rodri. They're not losing this much games without Rodri. Check last season. The only game that they drew or lost was last season, last 2 seasons, was
Last season,
when Rodri had a red
yeah.
card. Was when Rodri had a red card. So, like, you can clearly see he is him. That's what I can say. Rodri is him. And that's it today.
So okay, fair enough. I agree, but are you telling me if Haaland had scored? We're talking about Haaland having almost should have had a hat trick in this game. If Haaland had taken those chances, and let's say City won this game, would we be saying Rodri is this? What you know what I mean?
But at the same time, it still comes down to be humble. It still comes down to that. Just that phrase, be humble. He has changed Haaland's season. So if you're telling someone else to be humble, I think you should be humble.
So in other words, you are saying
Karma is biting him right back right now.
So in other words, you are saying it's a bigger problem.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the whole City squad has lost its confidence. I think Pep has a whole lot of work to do. Yeah.
I mean, he has 2 years. You know, obviously, he signed the 2-year contract, 2-year contract extension.
And teams might just get a lot worse if Kevin De Bruyne decides not to renew.
And also that too. He's also saying the same thing as, you know, he doesn't know yet. His future is set.
He's welcome to the other part of Manchester if he wants to.
I mean, I'll give it this. I think the whole Manchester squad is aging. I think they have been together for a long time. The core of the squad, not your core. And I know changing the core is not easy, and sometimes it might lead, but sometimes a change is needed for that core. And I just think they have been together for we're talking about 10 plus. This is not 10 plus years, close to about 7+ years of just pure utter dominance, right? So I think we've gotten to that stage where I don't say it might be boring, but like it's just we need something fresh. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I'll leave it at. Spurs, as I agree with you, they can be consistent. Top 4 is theirs to lose. You know, I think they are 2 points behind 4th place. No, not 2 points. 3, 4 points, whatever it is, behind 4th place Arsenal. But obviously, that's a story for another day.
What we also need to see is
what are we saying?
What we also need to notice is that Bournemouth.
Okay.
Bournemouth are 7 points away from top 4. I just want you to take that in. Bournemouth on 13th place are 7 points away from top 4.
How long did it take you to do that, man?
It took me like 5 seconds. But just take that in. What this Premier League is looking like going into the festive season. The only consistency I can see right now is Liverpool in all competition in the world.
Yeah,
right now. And I said in the world right now, in all competitions, the two consistent teams I can see, Liverpool and Barcelona. Okay.
I mean, Barcelona have dropped points in their last 2 games, so it's story for another day. But speaking of Liverpool, now that you're talking about Liverpool are the first team. Obviously, the last team to hold an 8-point lead over City, because that's what it is right now. Liverpool have an 8-point lead over City. The last team to do that finished second. We all know the team. I'm not going to say what it is. at this stage of the
What's the
season.
team? Just so our new fans can just enlighten them.
The last team to hold an 8-point lead over City and finish second was Arsenal 2 seasons ago. But that's far
Wow.
from the point. So Liverpool are in the driving seat. Liverpool are in the driving seat, and it's theirs to lose, whether we like it or not. It's theirs to lose. So Southampton to Liverpool 3. Liverpool go into this game as everyone expecting them to win. But it wasn't as easy as that. They needed a. You know what? That whether we like it or not, that penalty was a penalty. I'm not even trying to. They were just. It's fortunate for them to get that penalty. They go 1-0 up. Southampton doing Southampton things, trying to play like big team. Passing out from the back. Yeah, whatever. And they capitalize on that 1-0. Okay, good. Then Southampton equalize off a penalty. Armstrong misses the penalty and he rebounds it. You can decide, you can debate all you want if that was a penalty or not. I saw it and his feet was on the line. So this is what it is. Right? Okay, 1-1. We go into halftime. We come back out. Then Southampton I think it was from a corner, they go on this break and then they counter and they score. And I'm like, oh my days, is this it? Is it finally happening? And I'm like, okay. But then Salah equalizes like less than 10 minutes later. And I'm like, okay. And then the game keeps going on, it keeps going on. And I'm like, okay, I don't think Liverpool can find a way. And luck just happened to shine on them that this guy comes on, I can't remember his name, comes on as a sub. And he then handballs it. Really just unfortunate from his standpoint, because I think if he had done better, if it was their day, that could have just easily been a chest pass to the goalkeeper and it should have been a 2-2 draw. But luckily, luck shined on Liverpool and they got a penalty in the 3 minutes, and they scored. But I don't think this was convincing, to be honest. And I think Liverpool are just really lucky. Am I wrong for thinking that?
100% no, because a win is a win at the end of the day. 3 points is 3 points. Definitely internal talks will be there about like we escaped, that was a narrow one, this or that one. Yes, always going to be there. But in terms of what you enter a match to do, which is claiming 3 points, that's what they did. Obviously, the football wasn't pleasing on the eye. That was an escape, really. That was an escape. But the main point is, at least for the fans, the main point is we have 3 points. For the club, there are a lot of things that they need to change. They need to be more on the ball. They need to, concede less. Because Liverpool under Johan Klopp, they were known for clean sheet.
I mean, they're still the best defense in the league, so
They're still the best, but they still concede. Under Johan Klopp's era, I remember Liverpool went how many games without conceding? Liverpool and City, it's like they were doing the non-conceding record. They were on it. But now, but the main point is they get the 3 points. Obviously, it's not good on the eye. Mohamed Salah had to praise God for the gifts of goals he was given. He's
true.
my FPL. I can't complain. Captain him as well. I can't complain.
Me too. I can't complain. I'll take it.
Just to announce, by the way, guys, this was my last week of FPL. I'm breaking down. I've had a terrible season, so I'm giving up. I know Spy's motto is all about not giving up, but guys, sometimes you just have to. Yes. So yeah, kudos to Liverpool.
Kudos to Liverpool. I want to shout out this player just because I think he was amazing, even though he was on the losing side. Tyler Diblin, 18-year-old baller. And side note, the guy that considered penalty, Sugawari, I think he was just unlucky, but that's just on the side. But yeah, Tyler Diblin, I want to shout out Tyler Diblin. I think he was really fantastic for Southampton unlucky that he was on the losing side. But yeah, Liverpool 8 points clear, and this week is not going to be easy for them. They play Madrid on Wednesday. They play Madrid on Wednesday at Anfield. And then they also then play City at Anfield. On obviously on the good side is at Anfield. On the bad side, you can't play Liverpool and City back to back. Like that's just mental. Like I don't know who created this schedule, but that's just mental.
If Liverpool claim maximum points,
maximum points being six, get 6 points out of 6 because obviously Champions League
both games. David, I think we might just wrap up the season. I think we might know who is winning the league if they do that.
Because that's 11 points off City. Oh my days! I don't know if City can catch that.
The City. That is playing the 2 world giants, yeah, the Champions League giants and the Premier League giants, and claiming 6 points. If you do that, then the league is yours. Like, just give them the trophy already. Give them Champions League, give them Premier League, give Slot a medal. I don't know. Give them something.
There are a few coaches that have come into the Premier League and have won the league in their first season. I don't know if you know a few of them. Most of them being Chelsea, precisely. Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Carlo Ancelotti. They have come in, and a Slot might be in that company. And a Slot might just be in that company. I think Pep is also in that list. I can't remember. Those are the 3 names I can remember. But yeah, 11 points. They could possibly go 11 points off City next week. That would be a mouth-watering game to watch. But moving on, Ipswich won, Manchester United won. I think this is very close to your heart, so I'll allow you to take this one. I will say 2 things before I allow you to take this one. To go on your little rants, I will allow you to take this one. 2 things before I allow you to take this one. First off, Ipswich, if they can go the extra mile, they can actually. I still have them not being relegated, but if they can go the extra mile, all these little losses they have, because they have 6. So all these little draws they have 6 draws, most in the league. And if we are being honest, I think if they had gone the extra mile, they could have gotten those draws to wins. So that's the first thing I would say. Because let's be frank, Ipswich in the first half dominated that game. They dominated this game. They made Manchester United look like whatever, far from points. And I apologize for what you see on the screen. Rashford's goal was not a penalty, so I apologize for that typo. Rashford's goal was not a penalty. That was a quick, good football from Manchester United. Secondly, what I'll give you also is Manchester United looked like a team with structure. I looked like the Manchester United that we have been wanting to see. Even though yes, there were a lot of restrictions. There were a lot of things that could definitely be better. They look like a team that we have a game plan and we are sticking to its structure. You know what it is. So Spy, take it over.
Okay. Manchester United. We were Amorim. We can see what he's trying to do. We have seen that structure. We have seen us trying to fit into that structure. Obviously, as he said, there'll be a lot of work because let's be real, this is a broken United club. He's not coming just to fix it. He's coming to build, stabilize, and get results. So that cannot happen in just 10 weeks, Abiro. That cannot happen in 10 weeks.
And then, obviously, before this game, we only had 2 training sessions with the team. So
literally, because of the international break as well. So from what I could see, the last time I saw a structure from Manchester United, apart from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's quick counter-attacks, sorry, there's been, I think, Jose Mourinho. And that's been a while. I'm not going to say Ferguson because Ferguson was, but he had something different that we're not going to go into. But this United structure, yes, we don't get the results. Yes, we're a bit dominated because we still have some players that They need. I don't know what they need. Alejandro Garnacho, like, no,
It's
you're a
yeah, I
good
know.
player,
I get.
but no, Digodalo, no. I don't know what's happening to him nowadays. But the players that stand out these days, Mazraoui, he is such a good footballer. That is the best United signing I have seen in probably 2 years. Mazraoui he's such a good player. He is so good, so comfortable with the ball. So I can't say too much. But that's literally what I've seen. A United team with structure and let's see with more training sections, with more games. Let's see what Amorim can cook up. And please give Hoyland and Zegzi away. Just give me Gyökeres. I'm tired of seeing 9.5 and 0.9 in my forward. I'm tired of it. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah. I think, and you talked about Garnacho. I think there was an element of fear factor to the players, or rather holding back from players. I think usually, obviously, and this comes with if a team gets a new manager, they're like, what does the new manager want from me versus what I usually do.
Mhm.
Garnacho got in about 3 different scenarios where he was in a kind of, what does the manager want from me? Or should I do what I usually like? He was in between two heads, so I do get that, and I know that with time, obviously, to get better. So yeah, I agree with everything you said, and Manchester United, this will take time, but I do like, as I said, I do like the structure. I do like there's a system, it's not changing, and obviously, I think there was an element of he got the some of the pairings wrong, like starting with Ericsson and Casemiro in midfield. I don't think that can happen ever again. Let's be frank, because Ipswich. Amari Hutchinson, shout out to him. Went through that midfield. So I don't think that can happen again.
And
But
we need a bit of legs in the midfield. We
exactly.
need
So
a bit
so
of
so if you're starting one, you have to start either Ugarte or Menu in the midfield. You can't have both Casemiro and Ericsson in midfield. But yeah, we see what Amiron is doing. Is that his name? Am I pronouncing it well? Well, we'll get pronunciation as the season goes. There's still a long way to go. So as the season goes on, we'll get pronunciation. But let's move on to another team. Leicester 1, Chelsea 2. The scoreline really doesn't tell the story of this game, let's be honest. Sky is returning to the King Power Stadium where he helped guide Leicester to promotion into back into the Premier League. And news out of this after the game, Leicester City's ex-manager Steve Cooper was sacked after this particular result. And let's be frank, I feel like it kind of was coming. Um, for two reasons. First off, I don't think he connected with the fans. I think for the fact that he managed Forest, who are Leicester's rival in a sense, coming over to manage your rival, I don't think it's hard to bond with the fans. And the results were not helping. And then secondly, the fact that they started the game so, what's the word? So cautious. You see how Leicester started that game? They started so cautious. They weren't pressing, they weren't doing anything. Then after the first goal goes in, they're like, okay, now we have to come out. Why did you come out? I'd rather you come out and press than stay cautious and then like no. So yeah,
that just shows you that championship style of play. Championship, you can come out a bit sluggish and you still get the result at the end of the day. When you choose to turn up, you can. But no, this is Premier League. You have to be on it from
from
start to
minute
finish.
one. Exactly.
Sometimes, okay, you do get results here or there, but that's because, okay, your player quality is just different. When you attack, you get goals. For instance, beginning of the season, City, for the first like 10 minutes, you just sit back, let them score, give them a head start, you may say, and then they come back. That's only City that can do that. You get me?
I get
I
you,
think
yeah.
Arsenal, they tried it. I didn't try it. Sorry, no one wants to do that. But a situation like that happened. They were not on it. I think that was the 2-2 draw. Or was it the 1-0 draw? That You guys went ahead in the match 2 times. What game was that?
It happened. It happened in City. It happened in City's game. It happened in Liverpool's game. We're ahead both games,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so and I
You
think
guys,
it
you
also
guys
happened
won
in
it, you
Chelsea.
guys went off it. Then you guys they equalized. Then you guys going back on it, scored again. But you see what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
from Premier League, you have to be on it from start to finish.
yeah. You
And
can't play
just like
cautious. You can't play cautious ball.
can
You
play
can't play
cautious football.
cautious
Either
football.
you,
Like
either you come up with a game plan and you execute that game plan, or you stay home. Sorry.
or like you can't just yeah. Like if they had done it, if let's say if they were drawing 1-1 and you do it, okay, fine. Or you are winning 1-0 and you do it, fine. You are not winning. It's the game is still on a
Game
level playing
just stopped.
field.
If whistle just got blown, and you said, "Okay, guys, back with boss."
Yeah. Credit to Jackson. Credit to Jackson. That finish was
Credit to
immaculate.
Nicholas Jackson.
That finish was spectacular. The way he took the ball and then
Say,
he
what's his
then
name?
just
What's his name?
his name is Nicholas Jackson. His name is Jackson.
No, no,
Credit
no,
to
no.
Nicholas.
You're not getting it right. You're not getting it right. Nicholas Jackson. You know, they said he
Yeah,
has equaled, or he has passed Fernando Torres goals for Chelsea. And yeah, in how many games? I don't know.
yeah. Credit to him. I think he's the striker they saw. And there's so many. Almost all the Chelsea players, obviously last season they were terrible, or the season before that they were terrible. But like you can see what I guess the scouting guys saw when they were going to get all these players. You can literally see what they saw. But moving on from this game, Arsenal 3, Forest 0. Bounce back game for Arsenal. I don't really have anything to say. I think this was a good statement in terms of telling people that yeah, we are where we are, but we're not going anywhere. You get what I mean? We had a blip. We were in the mud for a bit, but we're back. And I'm going to be frank as an Arsenal fan. This has everything to do with Martin Odegaard being back. You could see he controlled everything, like from start to finish. And that right trio of him, Saka, and Timber, just like hot knife cutting through butter, just whew, smooth. Just for so yeah, I don't really have anything much to say on this game, Spy. Do you have anything? The way you're looking at me is like you have something to say.
I don't get the Arsenal fans, but kudos to you. You know, that's the bounce back that was very much needed. The fans were, like I said, Arsenal's best medicine or whatever is the fans. You could see the atmosphere on Saturday. You could see that's what we want to see in an Arsenal Football Club. You know, because your players feed off that energy. Saka feeds off it. Odegaard feeds off it. Almost all the Arsenal players feed off it. And that's a bounce back that's needed. Now the question is, can you not carry that into the Champions League?
Let's see. We play Sporting. No more Amorim ball. So let's see.
Remember, they still have the Amorim players though.
Anyways, we'll see. We're not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. We're not going anywhere.
You play against
moving
the
on.
striker, you won't, but the striker you're not going to get. How is that going to feel?
Let's see. Who says we're not going to get him? Let's see. I'm not trying to trend out there, but let's see who'll get him. There's still a long way to go. Let's see.
Very good.
Moving on to let's touch on some results before I round out of here. Match week 12. Everton 0, Brentford 0. That was a boring game of football. Okay, it's like when Brentford are not at home, they cannot score goals. They only score
like
goals
when their kickoff glitch doesn't work. They forget how to play football.
Two things can be true. You know, I think I saw a stat where like Brentford have the most goals at home. Like they're at home, they're just stupid at scoring goals. It's crazy. But yeah, boring game of football. Everton doing Everton things really, like just grinding out those points to the point that we can't. As long as we're not relegated, our fans are okay. Let's be frank. That's just what the club they are. You know, as long as we're not in the relegation fight, as long as we're in that, you know, 12th, 12th is even a stretch. 13, 14, 15, even 16. Well, okay. But once you start getting into 17, 18, 19, yeah, we have a problem. Now we have a problem. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Everton doing everything. I said Everton will not be in the relegation fight, and I stand by it. So, we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. This game, Aston Villa are in a bit of a slump too. You can say they're a bit of a slump. Crystal Palace are
we said this last week, and I think what we said last week is totally true. This is
I think the fixture list is starting to get to them. Whether I like it or not, they're not as much as we want to say they are a good football team. They are not that type of football team to be competing at a high level in high level competitions. You know what I mean? Like, they are not built for it yet. So it's starting to get to them, and we'll see. Palace are a terrible team. I'm so surprised they could even score 2 goals on Villa. I was pissed. I was actually livid that they did that, because my keeper is Emilio Martinez. But that's just on a personal level. So it is what it is. It is what it is. 2 more results before we get out of here. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 2. These are 2 teams that are just really stable at the moment. Brighton probably will make Europe. I don't know which of the Europe yet, but the way they are going, they will make Europe. I saw something about this is Brighton's best start under their manager in the past 4 or 5 seasons in Premier League. The Derby, yeah, it's weird. Brighton just I don't know what's up with Brighton, and Spy, you can tell me, but they always just are finding the right people. They lose one person, they find a replacement quickly. They lose another person, manager, player, whatever it is, they lose, and then they find a replacement that I don't say was better, but of the same quality as the one they lost. I don't know how you do that. Like, how do you even do that? Like,
I don't know. It's just that's Brighton for you. They just always find a way. I don't know. It's the reason that they've been in the Premier League without getting relegated, without even being in the relegation topic. What's the reason? Since they came up, I don't think they've been in the relegation topic since they came up. And
since Graham Potter took over. Since Graham
Potter,
yeah.
But like, still, my point stands. They are not a big team. They're also not really a small team. Why? Because they've put themselves up there. Like,
they're respectable. Like, you can't come and play Brighton and just expect to get 3 points out of it. Like, home or away, you can't do that.
It's okay.
And Bournemouth are going to that level.
They have been very good this season. Can't take anything away from them. They took points from CE. Took points from us.
Yeah, it is what it is. We move on. Okay. This last result, obviously, there's one more game of the match week today. By the time this episode drops, that game will be played. But last game of the match week of this episode, Fulham 1, Wolves 4. I did not see this coming. I'm going to be frank. I did not see this coming. Iwobi scores a belter of a goal, and then they concede 4. I'm like, what's going on? Like, Wolves.
David, check the match because I was not watching. I said, okay. I checked the score again. I saw it will be 1-0. I said, that's fine. David, I had some work to do. I'm done with my work. I'm like, oh yeah, what did this score finish as? And I see 4-1. I'm in shock. I don't have any words to say again. That was also shocking from Fulham. Like, you cannot go 1 goal up and then concede 4. That is something that needs to be studied.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get it back. We'll happy to get it back. But yeah, that's pretty much where it is. Like, no one so cool. Shout out to Matheus Cunha. He's a proper baller. Like I feel like this is probably his last season at Wolves. If I'm being frank with you, like this is probably his last season at Wolves. I don't know why, but like the fact that he stayed here this long is crazy. And I want to shout out that Mario Lamna. Mario Lamna is a baller, proper baller. Obviously, yeah, he's gone through a lot, but he's a proper baller. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to those guys. Spy, let's get to some quick hitters before you get out of here. Quick hitters before you get out of here. Starting with Harry Kane, England captain. And the reason why I'm shouting his name because he's the first player in Bundesliga history to. He's the fastest player in Bundesliga history, rather, to score 50 goals. He did it in 7 less games than the person that held the record, being Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland scored 50 goals in 50 games. Harry Kane did this in 43 games, so that's 7 games less. So we're talking about close to about 1.5 goals a game, more or less. My math might be off, but like that's kind of where it is with his hat trick in the last week. So I just want to shout out Harry Kane. Anything to say on that?
We've been knowing this. We've been knowing that Harry Kane was built to be a goal scorer. It's just been the quality around him, and he's got quality around him now. That's really all we can say because Harry Kane is a goal scorer. Harry Kane is the goal scorer you're looking for in your club. He's got it all: left foot, right foot,
Right.
headers. He's got what you need as a striker. And wow, will I say I did not expect it? No. Did I expect it? Yes. Did we expect it? Yes.
Yeah. So shout out to Hurricane. Shout out to what he's doing in Bundesliga. And Bayern company is doing. Bayern probably run away with it. So it is what it is. Lastly, Syria title race. Napoli, Atlanta, Inter. Napoli obviously leads Atlanta and Inter and Fiorentina and Lazio by 1 point. That's how tight the title race is in Syria, in the Italian league. That's mental. I did not see this coming. Like I expected Napoli to dominate, but the way and I'm seeing teams like why is Fiorentina and Lazio and freaking Atlanta up in there? Where the hell is AC Milan and obviously Juventus and AC Milan are just below them, but still, what the hell is going on in there?
Syria for you. It's something you can never really predict. You know, before it used to be fixed, it used to be set in stone that okay, um Juventus. But ever since Ronaldo entered the league, it's changed. You know?
I guess that's a good thing. Okay, that's it. That's a good thing. You know, more drama to
I'm
the
not saying Ronaldo changed it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that ever since he entered that league, the structure, the dominance, the balance changed. It became more competitive. It became more. Sometimes in the life, I think I'm too competitive. You know, that's what we're seeing.
yeah, but yeah. So well, that brings us to the end of match week 12. There's still one more game this match week between Newcastle and West Ham. I have Newcastle winning it. West Ham are terrible. Let's be frank. So by the time this episode is released, Newcastle would have played West Ham and Newcastle would have beat West Ham. I'm that confident in Newcastle. So, Spy, am I wrong? Well,
David,
okay. Yes, sir.
carry on.
Spy doesn't agree with me, but he doesn't want to say anything right now. But by the time when we come back next week and Newcastle did win, I will tell you I told you so. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Mate, there is no I told you so. Spy is always right.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Don't
Can we just
forget.
do a quick prediction? Can we just update our prediction? What do you think about at the end of the festive period? Who do you think is going to be top of the table, or at least top four?
Top four: Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and I'm going to go on a wide limb here, wide ass limb here, and say
I'm waiting.
I'm going to go on a wide ass limb here and say Spurs.
Mm. I think I'm going to say Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton, City.
Okay, let's see. Festive period. We still have a long way to go. But as I said earlier, thank you all for watching us. Thank you for watching the episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you're new to the show, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we drop good stuff for you. Don't forget that this is not the only place you can find us. Listen to Mad of Football Fans podcast wherever you get your podcast. And check out our socials on Instagram and on TikTok. We drop content there. So please, we love you guys so much. So thank you. We hope you all have an amazing week. We'll be back for match week 13 that sees Liverpool host Man City in what could be an 11 points gap created by the end of that game. We hope you have an amazing
4 years.
We hope you have an amazing one. I'm David, he's Spy. We're out. Thank you.
We are Rogue Media Sports.